What's good, everybody? In this video, I'm going to give you guys the best passing settings to help you improve your game for college football 26. I'm also going to break down the difference between all the passing settings and talk about the pros and cons of running revamped. Some of this stuff comes down to preference, so if you're running something different than me and it works for you, that's totally fine. Be sure to drop whatever tips you discovered in the comments to help each other out. Also drop a like if this video is any help and subscribe for future tips and tutorials for college football and Madden. First, we'll talk about placement. This is honestly the worst passing setting in my opinion. All this lets you do is control the placement and power, and it leaves the accuracy determined by the player ratings. You do not want that. If your quarterback doesn't have good ratings, you will be throwing ducks. But if you're a dynasty guy and you just want the game to feel as realistic as possible, this is probably for you. Next, we'll talk about placement and accuracy. This is the setting to go with in my opinion. It gives you a timing element for perfect accuracy on bullet passes on top of visual targets to control the placement, accuracy, and power. Running this setting will make a lesser quarterback throw better passes if you are able to get down the timing. So just to show you an example, Morton is a great quarterback. He's like 87 overall, but I just want to show you the reticle. So if I hold it, I get a yellow pass, doesn't look good. But if you let go, as soon as you fill the bar, you're going to get a green pass that's almost as accurate as you can get. But what you really want is a blue pass. That's going to be the most accurate pass you can get. To throw a blue pass, you just got to throw it within that little window. We'll do it one more time. You'll see a little white line on the meter, and you just want to throw it within that window. That'll give you a blue pass, maximum accuracy. Again, this is what all the pros run. This is what all the sweats run. If you want to maximize your game, this is the setting to go with in my opinion. But I am going to talk about revamp. Just give me a moment. Next, we got classic passing. What this does is it gives you more control on the arc of the pass, but you don't have to worry about any timing. So all you really have to do is worry about guiding your left stick. And yeah, that's why I don't like classic passing. It's just inaccurate. So I'm using my left stick to like pass lead. And it, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's very inconsistent, which is why most people don't use classic. But some people don't like to time it. So if you want to run classic, that's totally fine. I just don't like the inconsistencies. So yeah, but if you want to get the most consistency out of classic, I would just not use pass lead, honestly. I would just stick to bullet passes and like lobs. Now let's talk about revamped. And I actually ran it for the first couple of days of their release just to like get a feel for it and try to see if it was something I wanted to go forward with for the year. And personally, I'm going to stick with placement and accuracy, but revamped is still really good. I would say it's the second best passing type. Revamped is going to give you more control on the arc of the pass, so it's going to be a little easier to throw it in the breadbasket. It's going to have more air on the ball. To throw a perfect revamped pass, you want to let go right before it hits the yellow. However, you can hold it. If you hold it all the way, it's going to be a bullet pass. Revamped is really good for throwing balls like in the breadbasket. You don't really have to worry about pass lead. With the bigger meter, it's also easier to time, but ultimately it just gives you a lot more control on the arc of the ball so you can throw like over the defender. So it's really good for like deep passes. But to talk about the cons, one, I don't like the meter personally. That's just a preference. I feel like my revamped passes are slower than my placement and accuracy passes. So just looking at this one more time, it's not different, but it feels different. I don't know. It's like a mental thing, and it's not the only problem I have with revamped. My biggest problem with revamped passing is it's based on ratings and pass context. Again, if you want a realistic feel to the game, this could definitely be for you, but I don't want to throw passes based on ratings. I like to run tier 3 teams. I want to give myself the best possible settings for me to shine. So placement and accuracy is definitely the way to go in my opinion. I literally pass the ball at least 70% of the game. And these settings give me the most control over how good my quarterback performs. Looking at the settings, passing slowdown obviously goes off. I like my pass lead increase on small. Adding some pass lead and throwing a blue pass is going to put the ball exactly where you want it anyway, so there's really no point in putting it on large. Here's a throw with pass lead on small. Still threw it ahead of him. And then here's a pass with pass lead on large. There's really no difference. As long as you throw a blue pass, it's going to be where it needs to be. I like my reticle speed on 16. You can put it on 20 if you really like that. But I think the ideal number was probably 7 to 12 for like most players. But again, I like it on 16. I have a good feel for the reticle bar. And since it is on 16 and not 20, it gives me just a little more room for error. And that's pretty much it. These are the best settings for me. Like I said, I pass the ball literally at least 70% of the game. And this is pretty much the same as what all the sweats and pros are running. I still think revamped is really good. If it works for you, that's what's up. It's definitely better for arc passes, throwing over DBs, putting it in the breadbasket. I'm going to keep rocking with placement and accuracy so I can make quick reads and tight window passes. With placement and accuracy, you just got to be more aware of throwing the lob pass or the tap pass. Again, if this video was any help, be sure to drop a like. It is greatly appreciated. And drop a comment for the algorithm. It goes a long way. Now I'm just going to hop into a game and throw some hot dots. I haven't played as Duke yet, so so let's try them out. Making my pre-snap reads. If you want to see a video on how to read defensive coverages and beat any coverage, hit that subscribe button, it's on the way. Let's see, it's open. I'm still on Revamped from the tutorial, and it worked. See, Revamped is good, it's just not for me. But again, quick reads, tight window passes, placement and accuracy is for me. Wow. Should have took 3. Let's go to OT, buddy. I'm going for it, bro. This guy. See you later, buddy. I completely forgot I was recording, I'm not gonna lie. But there's the vid, drop a like, comment, subscribe, noties. Appreciate you guys so much for the support. Catch you next time, I'm out.
Had the time of my life, yeah. Let her push it forward and then she blind for my eyes. She don't wanna see me, she get blind for my eyes. So she only wanna see me for the pies and the rice and the white. Time of my life, yeah. Time for my life, yeah. End of my life, yeah. Pour another 4, yeah. Time of my life, yeah. Time for the Sprite, yeah. I'm living right, yeah. Whoa. Don't know what to say, it's a paradox.